Hey everyone, SweetJohnnyCage here. Welcome back to part 14 of the Dark Souls 2 full playthrough walkthrough. In this part of the walkthrough, we're going to be going through Shrine of Amana. Shrine of Amana is a very frustrating area. I cannot stress that enough. There are enemies there that will hunt you down like no tomorrow. They aggro in groups. It's really hard to individually take them on one by one. It's really frustrating. I can't stress that enough. So we're going to see how this goes. Luckily, it's not a long area. It's actually only like 4 or 5 screens. So that said, though, it can take a while. We're only going through Shrine of Amana in this part. We will be ending shortly after, or a little while after we defeat the boss, because defeating the boss here gives us something that we can then go back and use in Drangleic Castle. So we'll do that as well. Okay, show you my stats. Currently level 124 with 40 Vigor, 27 Endurance, 20 Vitality, 4 Attunement, 30 Strength, 22 Dex, 25 Adaptability, 4 Intelligence, and 6 Faith. Currently using a Raw Santier Spear plus 5. The head has been broken off, so it is unable to be broken anymore. Absolutely bring a short bow and some arrows. You just want to use it to aggro enemies and maybe kill them if you're lucky, but you don't want to use it to rely on killing enemies, because then you run out of arrows and you have to change your strategy. So on and so forth. I have Ring of Steel Protection plus 1, Chloranthy Ring plus 1, Ring of Blades plus 1, and the Covetous Silver Serpent Ring. And my armor is just the Falconer set with the Black Hollow Mage Hood. Okay, if you've never joined me for these walkthroughs before, this is a casual Let's Play style walkthrough. My job here is to make Dark Souls 2 Scholar of the First Sin as manageable as possible for you, and as relaxing as possible. Shrine of Amana is going to test that patience, but we will see how it goes. Alright, so once you're ready, warp to the Tower of Prayer Bonfire. In order to access Shrine of Amana, you will need to have defeated the Looking Glass Knight in Drangleic Castle at the very top. And then you take a big elevator down. Alright. So, right off the bat... Okay, so right off the bat, if you look down, you'll sort of see these guys like treading water right in between my shoulder and headpiece. These are the really tough enemies of Shrine of Amana. And it may not seem tough, but it is, so don't take them lightly. There is an item over here, but we'll get that later, so don't worry about it. We're going to drop here for now, though. And this is actually just in front of the bonfire. I do really like the singing here. I think it's quite nice. Right, so let's open this door over here. And then you do need to break this branch, and then we'll get that item later. Alright, so we have this guy. They don't have like a ton of poise or anything, but they do have a decent amount of health, and they some of them are also casters that you gotta watch out for. So there's a basilisk hiding in here. So let me actually do this. I have a fire arrow, so I'll make this easier on myself. Oh, there's more. Okay. Get a raw stone, and then there's a chest here. Wilted Dusk Urge, Skeptic Spice. I'm actually glad that wasn't an explosive barrel, otherwise the chest would have been ruined. So, yeah, definitely roll into them. We get the Archdrake set. So these guys have the Cleric starting set, I think, that they're all wearing. It's sort of like the Faram set. Pretty similar vibe. So you will notice parts of the water are glowing. And these are actually enemies. So you don't want to, like, just hang out there. But you do want to keep an eye out whenever the water's glowing. Alright. So as you can see, we are treading water, so that does unfortunately mean that there will be many instances of us being slowed down. So you want to be really, really careful where you walk in Shrine of Amana, because it's very easy to fall off ledges underwater And since you're always looking down, you are basically never looking straight ahead. And so you really got to be aware of your surroundings. I cannot stress that enough. And the drop-offs can be very, very sudden. Okay, so this is the item that we knocked down earlier. Flame Butterfly and some Twinkling Titanite. And then, yeah, so this is a drop-off right here. It's literally a cliff under the water. There's a lot of them. You gotta be very, very careful of where you're stepping. And sometimes there will be islands like that appear like they're directly across from you, but you actually have to take some weird way to go reach them. So I'm gonna kill this Archdrake. See, they can move really, really easily in water. You cannot. It's a little unfair. Anyway. Human effigy here. You don't have to kill all these guys, but why not? Just be careful, because there is a drop-off here. Alright. But once you're ready, go back to the path. So instead of going into that door, I'm going to walk around, because there's a curse jar here that we want to break, as well as a chest. Alright, some crimson water there, and let's go into the house. Okay, so there's this woman here. Speak with her.
We knew you were coming. And stop singing. We are Milfanito. We are here to sing to those bound by death and dark. We will sing here forever, as we always have from long, long ago. We know nothing of the world outside. And why should we? For we will never leave. Do you seek King Vendrick? But what is a king, after all? We know nothing of the world outside, for we will never leave here. When we sing, the little ones dance. The little ones grant comfort to those who bear death and dark. This is what we were taught. Is there anything wrong? Perhaps this will help.
Alright. So these women are known as the Milfanito. And, I mean, if you play Dark Souls 1, the name Nito is in there, and it's implied that Nito is their creator. After you defeat Demon of Song, you can speak with the Milfanito that you free, and she'll give you a petrified something. Yeah, she'll give you a petrified something. Okay, so moving on. You can see there are a couple of Archdukes now. Archdrakes, rather. So the singing causes the little sea monsters to sleep. That's why they're glowing. Yeah, see, this guy aggroed from, like, downtown. They can see you from really far away. Nice, Twinkling Titanite. And they attack very quickly. They attack in long combos. There we go. There's a treasure over there. Why is there a treasure there? Oh, I guess that was from the enemy. Weird. Okay. Sometimes treasures don't appear until, like, much later. It's strange. Okay. Cool. So, with the Milfanito singing, we don't have to worry about these little guys. We can go through here. But there is a chest over here, so we want to kill this one. Careful of the drop-off, though. Dragon Charm. Okay. So in here, quite a number of little Firefly things. And then we have these guys in this little cave. You want to be kind of careful, because these guys can jump at you. And then you do have a poison bug creeping up behind you. But these bugs aren't actually poison bugs. Let's see if they... Yeah, so this mist degrades your armor and weapon, so you gotta be careful. They don't have much health at all. Alright, there's a chest in this room, so let's open this. More Twinkling Titanite. Okay, go through the cave. On the other side, we're actually right near another bonfire. So this is where the area starts to get quite beautiful, but also really frustrating. So as you can see, this sorceress is nowhere near me, but has already begun casting. Luckily, they don't really have any health at all, but they really start coming out of the woodwork. So you gotta be careful. Anyway, there's a bonfire in this broken structure here, so be careful where you're walking, but then you can light it. Pretty sure there's an NPC summon here as well, in case you want. So, I'm pretty sure it's like a lady with a big spear, which can be very helpful. But either way, light the bonfire and then get moving. Alright, so we do have these giant guys from Hyde's Tower of Flame here. But you want to, like, always be on the lookout for where casters might be. Because once they start casting on you, you kind of can't get them to leave you alone. Jesus. Yeah. So again, always watch your step. And pay attention to the water. When you see ripples, that means that these little guys are coming after you. Alright, so there is a caster behind this pillar. And there's another one right there. This place is ugly. So not only is this one here, but then this is also going to aggro another one. Right there. So this place is frustrating. There's no sugarcoating it. Alright, get a fire seed here. Kill homegirl over here. Alright, so that's this little intro area. Okay. So one thing that you can do, kind of reliably, is to shoot enemies and see how they move towards you. That's one way to, like, understand the pathing. And also sometimes they'll just fall off. Alright, so you can see this dragon rider here just took a straight path towards us, which is good to know. But just be very careful when fighting him. You do not want to roll off the edge. Also, when you are underwater, you don't have easy movement. So be really careful. Oof, thought I was gonna. Alright, there's that Dragon Rider. Good. So now we can walk along the same path he was on. See what's down here. Pretty sure he's guarding a chest. Right. Okay, so watch your step. Alright, so this door is locked. We don't have the key yet. Pretty sure I know exactly where that key is, so we'll come back. Let's double check. Okay. Alright, so this door, it doesn't actually require a key. I knew it was weird, but it doesn't actually require a key. What it requires is for you to kill a boss, and then return here when you... and use a human effigy and, like, be human. After you do that, the door will open. So it's kind of strange. But in a way, you are the key. So we're going to go into this little building here. Sort of check things out. Right, so there is a drop-off here. So we want to be really careful. It's to our left. Yeah, well, I'm glad we know where she is now. That's frustrating. The spells just home in on you like nothing else. It's crazy. Okay. So we're going to continue along the established path and try to get over here. Hopefully nobody sees us. Yeah, see, like, this guy sees us. Oh no, he's just pathing? Well, anyway. So we got two of these things. Plus this thing. So, even though we did all that, I am not ready to, like, call it in or anything. We need to kill this one. And then there's also the ogre. So the ogre's over there. So we can follow this path. We shouldn't be bothered. Keyword shouldn't. This is a treasure from a corpse. Maybe not. Either way. Okay, so let's go aggro this ogre. See what we can do about him. You don't want to fight... Yeah, see what I mean? Like, the treasures are popping up super late. One just disappeared. Oh, anyway. Okay. So let's aggro the ogre. Take him out. Same strategy as always. Let him do 3 hits. Go in for 1. Roll out. Maybe he'll butt stomp. Yeah, perfect. Cool. So that's that guy. Alright, so let's see what the ogre was guarding. Was he guarding anything? Always keep an eye on the water. Yeah, okay. So there's a caster down there. I see her. She's about to see me. Yep. I'm going to change from fire arrows to wood arrows just because I don't want to... I don't want to waste my fire arrows. Alright, so this is going to be kind of frustrating. I'm going to take these enemies out with a bow. And I'm doing this because we are about to walk on a really, a really small walkway. Just keep looking at the floor. Alright, all that for Nessus Flask Shard. Really not a bad treasure. Definitely worth it. And just walk back very safely. Careful not to fall down. You know what I'm wondering? This has nothing to do with Dark Souls 2, but it took them until Sekiro to implement swimming, and I was really impressed by how they implemented it because it actually feels pretty good. Swimming's always tough in video games, but I'm wondering if swimming is going to be in Elden Ring. None of the trailers have showed it. I guess the one trailer we have. But I guess it wasn't shown in the Sekiro trailers either, now that I'm thinking about it. Anywho. Alright, so that's all done. Let's open up this house. Actually, I think this is where that summon is that I was talking about, the lady with the big spear. Get a smooth and silky stone. Alright, so once we open this door, some more enemies are going to get aggroed, so just be careful. So we gotta be careful here. I'm actually tempted to do this with a shield. Because you can get overrun really fast here. I have no idea if this is a safe route. I think it is. I'm just going to assume it is. there's a caster here. It's helping them out. I'm almost positive that was a caster doing that miracle. Alright, so I know that there was a path on the left that we didn't address. Very aware of that, but there's a bonfire through here, so I want to make sure we light it. Alright. Cool, so we've lit this bonfire. Very, very helpful, but we're not done. So this room is actually like the hardest room in Shrine of Amana, and I think it might have been rebalanced in Scholar. It felt easier than it was. Anyway, let's grab this treasure. Very careful though, because the geometry isn't really helpful there. What the? Why did none of these aggro when I was rolling through here? I mean, that's where the miracle was coming from. That was strange. I don't know why they didn't aggro. That's what... okay. I almost feel bad that they didn't aggro because I had a much easier time getting through here than I anticipated, and that's why. So you may have a harder time. Sorry about that. I mean, I can't... I don't know why I'm apologizing. It is strange, though. Alright, but we still have these guys over here. So it's a melee guy and a caster, so... what you can do is just sort of hug this wall, and then he will aggro, and then we can take care of him. Getting good Twinkling Titanite drops. It's very helpful. Very helpful. Okay, so we can break these branches, and there's an ogre back here. We are underwater, or not underwater, but we are in the water though, so this we need to approach this very carefully. So I recommend breaking everything. And then just relying on his sort of 1, 2, 3. Don't go more than 2 hits. Oof. Yeah, I rolled backwards. That was a mistake. I'm going to drink instead of going in for an attack. Why are you backing up now? Wow. Alright. It's interesting that we have him in this little position here, backing up. It's actually, like, extraordinarily helpful to us. Alright. Cool. So the ogre's down. And get his item here. Singer's Dress and Life Ring +2. Very cool. Alright, so that is, hands down, the hardest section of Shrine of Amana in terms of, like, enemy getting overrun by enemies. We still have a lot to do, though. Not a lot. It's sort of just one other really big area. In my opinion, it is much easier than what we just went through, so... don't really have much to fear. Alright. So this big bug here, I'm almost positive this is a kill once enemy. You do want to be careful, though, because... yeah, it puts out a huge armor degrading mist that has quite a reach. So luckily, I don't think that did too much damage. Okay, it almost broke some things, but it's okay. Let's just rest of the bonfire and see what happens. I believe it's a kill once enemy, though, the big one. Oh, it's not. Okay, well, never mind. All good. Oh boy, I'm in this way too long. Right, he's just gonna keep following me. Pretty sure these guys drop corrosive urns. That's nice. So over here. Right, okay, this goes back to the other area, but I'm gonna kill these bugs just because. Back alive. Or sometimes they just follow you for a while. I'm gonna go ahead and use a repair powder just so nothing breaks while I'm adventuring. Great. Okay, so obviously it's a party down here. Now you're like really deep underwater. So we have this whole section. God. So I'm going to try to kill this one over here. This is a ledge to our left. Be very, 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 very careful. We can get here. Okay, so be sure to get out quick. I'm gonna heal up. Peculiar Kindler. Which is an NPC invasion. Also, what's really frustrating is if you try to run while you're in the water, it drains your stamina anyway. I don't think that makes a ton of sense. Oh. So I'm gonna try to kite this guy in here. Fight near the bonfire. Very good. So you just don't have to fight him in the water. So he's got Dark Bead, which is always a ton of fun. Ow. But you can overwhelm him pretty easily. There we go. Whew. Okay, that's Peculiar Kindler. Should get a human effigy. There it is. Okay, so now I'm over here and deal with the other casters. Just always watch your feet. Generally, it's safe to just walk along the pillars, but you never know if the floor is going to drop out from underneath you. Go ahead and aggro this guy. Oh my god. I feel like that hit me on like the last frame possible. Okay. I do like how you can actually like hear them chanting their spell. I think that's like a nice detail. Anyway, there's that one. Now let's continue around the circle. We will address those three. Careful back here. Homing Crystal Soul Mass, great spell. I like how that appears in every game, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be in Elden Ring as well. I guess it's not in Sekiro, but you know, different kind of idea there. All right, so luckily we were able to aggro these guys without aggroing the caster. That's exciting. Perfect. Okay. You did great there. That was really nice. Red Iron Twin Blades, Soul of a Proud Knight, and then this treasure here. And then we can get walking. There's There's a treasure back here that we missed. But I'm pretty sure we just hugged this wall. Alrighty. Okay. So. You were dead. What the hell was that about? Alright, so this is a pit. Don't walk along there. She was a corpse. I don't know what the hell that was about. That was just fell off. Anyway. Let's walk towards the singing. There's a Milfanito in here. Let's speak with her. Never mind. She's dead. Okay. So there is still a little bit more to do here. Actually, I think we have to kill the boss and then we can move around. Yeah, okay, let's kill the boss. There's still a little bit more to do in Shrine of Amana, though. Like, I'm pretty sure I mentioned that when we started. Like, there's stuff to do even after the boss, but before we get to the next area. That's why I'm just making this a one-time guide. Or a one-area guide. Okay, so the boss here is the Demon of Song. It's actually a pretty easy boss. It's just really weird to look at. It's a frog with a human face and arms, and it's only vulnerable when the face is out. Otherwise, it's just like one big shield. So you do have to be mindful of that. But sort of like any other bosses, just attack when they're vulnerable and roll out of the way. You are somewhat submerged in water, but it's only ankle deep, so you don't have any trouble running. So yeah, there it goes. It pulls the shell over its face. Feel free to target the boss. It does have these big slaps and sweeps. Once you feel comfortable, go in for a couple attacks. Probably do that. It is a frog, so it can take really big leaps. Yeah, but attacking anywhere but its face is pointless. So you don't want to be, like, against any walls while fighting this boss. Really don't recommend that. Not a particularly hard boss. Oof. Oh my god, it's already dead. Jesus. We really torched this thing. There you go, that's Demon of Song. Really easy boss. A lot of bosses in Dark Souls 2 are just like complete pushovers. Alright, from the boss we do get a really important item though, the key to the embedded. The key to the embedded is actually a weapon, but we're not going to use it for that purpose. Alright, so once you're ready, just come on out. And we can do the rest of Shrine of Amana. Alright, so this, I may as well explain this. This door here, guarded by a Cyan Knight. There we go. So this door here, I'm almost positive we can open it. Yes. Alright. So this door, I will show you where it goes, because I guess we'll light a bonfire while we're here. This is going to bring us into the next area of the game, which we're not going to cover in this walkthrough, but you should at least know where it is. elevators, man. Alright. So this will bring you down to the Undead Crypt. Royal Crypt? Undead Crypt? Undead Crypt. Okay. So we're just going to light the bonfire and keep moving. Oh, Aldia. Right. Hello, Aldia. I didn't mention this in the previous encounter with him during Duke's Dear Freya, but if I have any viewers who are as old as I am and play Diddy Kong Racing, I want you to look up a boss from Diddy Kong Racing. The octopus boss. Bluey the Walrus. No, not Bluey the Walrus. Bubbler the Octopus. I want you to look up Bubbler the Octopus, listen to him speak, and tell me it's not the same exact voice.
I believe you've been quoted. Young hollow, conqueror of fear. What drives you so to overcome the supposed curse? Life is brilliant, beautiful. It enchants us. With a kind of obsession. Some are true to their purpose, they are fulfilled, flesh and iron. One man lost his own body, but lingered on as a head. Others chase the charms of love. However innocent. What is it that drives you? Once, the Lord of Life banished dark and all that stand from humanity. And men assumed a fleeting form. These are the roots of our world. Men are props in state of life, and no matter how tender, how exquisite, a lie will remain a lie. Young Oliver, knowing this, do you still desire peace?
I'm not really sure the answer to this. I don't think it changes much, but... Desire peace. So let's just say yes.
Venric, the near true monarch, is here, and not far. But what is a kin? You, neither born with great wisdom grounded in my trades. What is it you seek? You cannot even say yourself. We shall meet again. Young Hollow.
Alright, so that's Aldia again. So let's light the bonfire for real. And then I'm going to rest just to sort of restore my flasks. And then we're going to complete the rest of Shrine of Amana. So let's take this really long elevator back up. And again, we will do the Undead Crypt next, in the next walkthrough. It's not long at all, but there is kind of a lot to talk about there. Okay, cool. So, we gotta kill the cyanide again, I guess. Ow. I mean, that was strange, but okay. Alrighty. So we gotta head towards this building now. So we'll walk along this path. Hello, Basilisk. I feel like, yeah, I thought I heard more than one. Alright. I'm gonna assume this is not a mimic. Cool, get some magic arrows. Up here. Alright, we're gonna use a fragrant branch of yore here. This gives us access to a bonfire. I think that might have been our final fragrant branch of yore. No, I still have one more. Yeah, at this point you should still like have a couple, unless you burned all of them in the Shaded Woods. Alright, let's light this bonfire. And then we'll come up here. Oh, actually, sorry. We need to go back to Drang Lake Castle before we do this. So go to the central Castle Drang Lake bonfire, and we're going to use the key to the embedded. And take the elevator all the way to the top floor now. And then I'm just going to read this really quick. So, what we're about to do is we're going to use the key to the embedded on this guy here. I do want to warn you, the key to the embedded is a weapon. What the hell is it? Yeah, so this is the key to the embedded. It says, sword that opens the embedded's door. Shaped like a weapon, but it is in fact a key. Plunge the key into the embedded to bring a rhapsodic end to his life. The once human embedded, realizing that he could never resist the temptations of the flesh, bound himself eternally with chains. Since then, he has awaited the day that somebody will find this key and bury it within his bosom. Strange. Anyway, you can use it as a weapon if you like. You cannot upgrade it. It's a decent weapon if you pair it with the Ring of Blades and Old Leo Ring. It's really not bad. Kind of a fun RP weapon. But if you use it as a key, you will lose the weapon, and you cannot get it until the next New Game cycle. You cannot use a bonfire ascetic for the Demon of Song, fight it again, and then get another key in the same playthrough. You have to progress to the next playthrough. So, we're going to use it, and then we sort of like stick it in his face. Not really his bosom, I don't really get that. And then we unlock it, and then he goes away. And the door unlocks. And we can speak with the Milfanito inside. So she goes away. And we get Ring of the Dead. And Ring of the Dead says, the wearer of this ring appears human even when hollow. They say that in the Undead Crypt, we can reacquaint ourselves with the dead. We all suffer loss, and none of us can escape death. Then, what is the fascination with reclaiming that with that which has already passed into the beyond? And then the stats on it is just keep human appearance when hollow. That's all it does. Okay, so we have that, but we're not done with that Milfanito. So whoa. I was not expecting that. I didn't remember that. So now, we're going to go back to that bonfire that we lit in the shrine after the fragrant branch of yore was used. And then we will be able to... Oh, wrong way. We will be able to speak with that Milfanito. She will be at another fire. So the bonfire is called Rise of the Dead. Let's go there now. can sort of hear her singing in the distance. Go ahead and kill this bug. Alright, let's open this door. So we do have a couple of corpses here. Not much of a threat. Just sort of here to annoy us for the most part. Yeah, why do the treasures appear so late? And why is there a treasure down there? Doesn't make any sense. Anyway, we'll find out soon enough. Alright. So, this isn't Laurentius of the Great Swamp, but it sure as hell looks like Laurentius of the Great Swamp. But this is a hostile pyromancer with a dirk, or I guess a dagger. I call them dirks. Yeah, Firestorm, the classic. He's very strong. Oof. That's combustion. Don't go near that. It's another combustion. I'm trying to get him in here. Be careful of the Milfanito in here. You don't want her to die. I'm going in. There we go. Alright. Cool. So this Milfanito is the one that we freed using the key to the Embraced. So let's speak with her.
Who are you? And what do you want from us? Milfanito. That is what we are called. My name. Do you mean our name? We know nothing of the outside world. We sing eternally for those who bear death and dark within themselves. We have been here forever. We know nothing of the outside world, and we do not need to. The little ones were born from the great dead one. And the great dead one taught us song. We have sung ever since, to comfort those bound by death and dark. This is what we were taught. We hear a song in the distance. You rescued a Milfanito who was taken from us. Take this. We Milfanito thank you. You silenced that cursed singing. Please accept these as a thank you. Do you seek comfort too? You poor thing. Take this at the very least. This is all that we can do. The little ones.
Alright. So, a couple things that I need to address here. This door that we opened, the big steel one, it will only open if you have rescued two Milfanito, the one just before Demon of Song, and the one in Drain Lake Castle. You also have to be undead in order to open it. If you are human, it will not open. This is a fire that you can pray to, and... Okay. So if you have no human effigies in your inventory, and you are undead, this fire of Nito will turn you human. So it's like, if all else fails, this is how you can turn human, is using this bonfire. Or fire, it's not really a bonfire. Alright, so you want to be careful coming down here. There is another Pyromancer for you to worry about. Yep, there he is. This big old combustion. Oof. Ow. Oh, I went in when I shouldn't have gone in. Anyway, here we go. So that combustion will stay there until it's time for it to disappear. And then you get a fire seed. We can go out here. Yet another Pyromancer. Ow. Jesus. So he's like right up against the edge there. Jeez. Intense. Okay, so this is a ledge. Don't fall off that. That's a ledge too. I'm almost positive there's treasure over here, so I want to be able to find it. Yeah, there's a steel chest over there. And there's one here too. Okay, very good. Manslayer. Okay. I'm gonna look to see if this is a mimic. This should be a bonfire aesthetic, I think. Yes. Okay. So that is it for Shrine of Amana. We have fully completed it, with the exception of that one door that we can get to later. I'm pretty sure that there is another reward for speaking with that first Milfanito. So I'm just going to double check that, but aside from all that, we are done with Shrine of Amana. I'm glad we were able to get through without dying. This is a really, really challenging area that maybe was rebalanced in Scholar, and I didn't remember that, but yeah, this area was a giant, giant pain. Oh, actually, I think that treasure might be from the butterfly. Might have just, like, popped up over there. Let's just check it out. Yeah, I think that's from the butterfly. Anywho. Alright, let's use this bonfire. And then we're going to warp back to the... yeah, the first bonfire. And see if there's an extra reward here. There may not be. Full disclosure. I'm pretty sure if we speak to the Milfanito singing in there, there will be, though. No, we already opened this door.
We hear a song in the distance. You rescued a Milfanito, who was taken from us. Take this. We, Milfanito, thank you. You quelled that cursed singing. They may be of no use outside, but please, take these. When we sing, the little ones got
Okay. Cool, I'm glad I checked that out. Now let's go ahead and use a Homeward Bone, go back to Majula, level up, and end the walkthrough. So like I said, that is Shrine of Amana. It's very frustrating. A bow is highly advised just to kite enemies out. You really got to use the environment to help you out. And it can be very frustrating. Very, very frustrating.
Is that a here to see, however?
Estus Flask at maximum strength. Okay. I'm going to go to 30 dex and then put more into strength and stamina. My weapon is completely maxed out, so there's nothing to do there. Now that we have lit all 4 primal bonfires, though, I want to see what happens when we speak with Cale the Cartographer. I might have already tried this, but I could have sworn after you kill Creighton, he gives you his helm or something like that.
I would not venture. It was. But did you see that it was? But it seemed something.
Let me just double check. Cale the Cartographer. Okay, you have to light everything. Okay, never mind. Alrighty. Nothing extra for Cale for now. Not until much later. It's not much later, but later. Yeah. Does she now sell?
You've been well.
No. So she will eventually start selling Twinkling Titanite, so always check back with Chloanne, because her inventory refreshes depending on what bosses you've killed. Okay, that is it for Shrine of Amana. Next, we will go through the Undead Crypt. That'll be relatively short. There's one boss there, along with another boss who we will not fight now and won't actually fight for a while, but there is another boss there. But that's it for this. Alright, if you have any questions, please feel free to leave a comment. I'll do my best to help you out. If you're looking for more guides for Dark Souls 2, Scholar of the First Sin, please subscribe to the channel so you get alerted when new guides go live. Don't forget to join the community Discord. The link for that is in the description below. If you're interested in supporting the channel monetarily, If you're interested in supporting the channel monetarily, please consider becoming a channel member by clicking the blue join button below this video. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter and on Twitch, and as always, I'm SweetJohnnyCage. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.